And a good morning to you all. Please rise as you're able to sing hymn number 360, Here We Have Gathered.
Welcome. Good morning. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm Janet, and I'm your celebrant today. The Reverend Rick Davis is not in the pulpit this morning. He is in the room, and he will be back up here next week. We are pleased today to welcome David Roth, who will be sharing his music and insight on how to bring harmony through thought, intention, and action in a complicated world. I see a lot of familiar faces, but I also see a lot of you who I'd like to get to know better. So whether this is your first time with us or you've been coming forever and ever, please, please, please stay after the service and join us for some conversation, for community, for friendship, and of course, coffee and tea. And my goodness, I saw a lot of really yummy looking goodies in there.
I saw Oreos.
Yeah, I saw Oreos, I saw oh gosh. Anyway, we are very glad you are here. Be ours a religion, which like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space. Its shrine, the good heart. Its creed, all truth. Its ritual, works of love. Its profession of faith, divine living. Theodore Parker. Would you please join me in our regular ritual of speaking aloud the words of our shared affirmation? Love is our doctrine. Compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration. Build a community of caring fellowship. Nurture the hopes and serve the needs of our world.
And are you ready to sing? All right, I'm very happy to be joined by the choir this morning. And I don't know how it works around here. This is my first time in this beautiful sanctuary, but do you stand when you sing, John? Is that how it goes? Do you sit? Is it casual? Okay, that sounds great. So the choir is interspersed among you, and we had a very crisp rehearsal this morning, but not too much because life is too short for rehearsals. And if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. That's what I heard somebody once say. You'll catch on quickly. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I am just looking for more kindness in this world. Let's do that again. I'm looking for more loving in this world. I'm looking for more loving in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more loving in this world. My turn. Oh, this is what I see. It's complicated A to Z, and there's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more caring, and it's time to be more daring for goodness sake. Here we go. I'm looking for more grace in this world. Let me hear ya. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more grace in this world. Compassion. I'm looking for compassion in this world. I'm looking for compassion in this world. If it's there. Oh, this is what I see. It's complicated A to Z. There's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more daring, and it's time to be more caring for goodness sake. Justice. I'm looking for more justice in this world. I'm looking for more justice in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more justice in this world. Compassion. I'm looking for compassion in this world. Grace. I'm looking for more grace in this world. Loving. I'm looking for more loving in this world. Oreos. I'm looking for more Oreos in this world. Kindness. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. Last time. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. Yeah.
It's our tradition here at UUCS to light 3 chalices when we begin our Sunday service. I'm going to ask David to help us, and as you can see, our chalices are in the back today. The first chalice we light is for all of you who are gathered here, all the friends and members of UUCS. The second is for our partner church in Szymanfalva, Transylvania, Romania. And the third chalice is for the children and youth, both in our religious education program and around the world. Blessed is the fire that burns deep in the soul. It is the music of the human spirit awakened into life by the mystery of life. And like the sweet notes of the music we share, its warmth and light can be felt by all who are present. Is that one just not wanting to light?
There's a very short wick on this one. I'm working on it.
Well, that's okay. I think Molly can do it in the back, too, when she gets it back there.
Yeah, I think this will be symbolic today.
Okay. That works. We're going to symbolically, because that's okay. The children can have something to do when they get back there. So maybe this will help. Shall we all join in singing The Flame into Life? we gather in this beautiful setting, surrounded by the love and companionship of our friends. We know that today we will hear words and music that lift our spirits and heal our souls. Yet, here among us and outside our doors, there are souls who are hurting. While we celebrate, let us be mindful of all those who don't feel like celebrating today. Let's also make a plan to make a difference in their lives by offering assistance, a kind word, or just a smile to lighten someone's burden. And while we're at it, let's be grateful for all of our blessings. For the rain, though it seems to be rather endless, it is essential for life. For the sun, though it's been rather shy lately, it brings us joy and warmth. For each other, a precious blessing, and as necessary to our well-being as the rain and the sun. May we enter this time together with both compassion and gratitude.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joan, and I'm the representative of the Lifelines, a new member of the Lifelines Lay Ministry. And we have a number of joys and concerns to share this morning. From the website, the first one is from Anonymous. My husband and I found that our landlords are selling their house, which includes the garage apartment we are living in. We are worried about housing, as neither of us have a good credit right now, and we are living on one income. The next is a concern shared by Ann Hannes. My 98-year-old mother, Gladys Perozic, died on April 10th, 2023. Mom was a very kind, wise, and giving woman. I loved her deeply and believe her strengths and values profoundly shaped my life. The next one is from Deanna Yakel, and it is a concern. My father died last Tuesday. My husband, David, and our adult children had the opportunity to visit Dad on his last good day, a day when we saw his kinder and possibly his purest self. This was truly a gift. And from Sarah Chateau today, a concern. My brother Mike has melanoma and will be starting chemo soon. And the last to be read is from Anonymous. Next Sunday, Mary Murphy's birthday, she will be 90, and she would appreciate a card, I am sure. All right. And now we will light one final candle for all the joys and concerns that we have not shared but are in our hearts today. Lifeline's lay ministers are fellow members that are extending Reverend Rick's ministry to members and friends of the congregation. Anyone who's experiencing loss, illness, or any type of personal or family crisis. The way to reach us is to either come in person. Every Sunday there's going to be a Lifelines table in the Hanneman Hall, and come and visit. And I'll be there today. You can also connect with us by email on the screen. And also, you can sign this book And also you can post online, or you can call the office and ask to be connected. Thank you very much. And we have now another announcement, and it's from Eric.
Thanks, Joan, and good morning. You're going to see something different in Hanneman Hall this afternoon, right after the service, because not only will Joan and I be staffing that Lifelines table, but Kimber will be there. Kimber? Who's Kimber? Well, Kimber's about this high. She's got 4 legs. She's a golden retriever, and she's a therapy dog. So we will be having pet therapy as part of our Lifelines services to you today. And George Pitter will be bringing his cat on a different day than Kimber is here. And so George and I will be pleased to offer pet therapy probably 2 Sundays a month. So see us in Hanneman.
For all these things both said and held, may we add thoughts and prayers and action to support and help our families, friends, and neighbors. Join me. For all these things both said and held, may we add thoughts and prayers and action to support and help our families, friends, and neighbors. For all these things both said and held, may we add thoughts and prayers and actions to support and help our families, friends, and neighbors. Good morning once again. My sister and brother-in-law are retired UU ministers, and they often remind me that you have to get to church early on Sunday to get a seat in the back. So. This first song in our sermon and song today, and now for something completely different, is sort of a public service announcement. Is it too much to ask that you turn off your texting? Too much to ask, too much fuss. Will the world stop revolving if you're not connecting? How about connecting with us? Is it too much to ask that you use your turn signal to let someone know if you're turning or not? Is it too much to ask that you don't honk your horn when it's obvious the traffic has stopped? Is it too much to ask to be gracious? Is politeness a thing of the past? Is it too much to ask to be warm and kind-hearted? Is it too much to ask? That's your part, try it. Is it too much to ask? My turn. Is it too much to ask to have safe drinking water or clean air to breathe every day? When we're taking a walk, is it too much to ask that we don't have to walk the same way? Is it too much to ask to be quiet and listen? Is it too much to ask to be heard? Watch out now. Is it too much to ask to allow an opinion that isn't same one as yours? Is it too much to ask to be gracious? Is politeness a thing of the past? Is it too much to ask to be warm and kind-hearted? Here you go. Is it too much to ask that you sit there and listen to long-winded songwriting nerds? Is it too much to ask to have instruments only or songs without so many? Exactly. Is it too much to ask when you're walking the poodle if Fifi does her business that you clean up the mess? Is it too much to ask that you put on that suit tonight? Maybe I'll put on the dress. Is it too much to ask to be gracious? Is politeness a thing of the past? Is it too much to ask to be warm and kind-hearted? Is it to ask again? Is it too much to ask? Ask your neighbor. Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask? Thank you. It's very wonderful to be here. This is a makeup date for something we had planned in March of 2020, April of 2020, 4 years ago, but something happened. Yeah, it did. So I see some old friends scattered amongst you who have come to church this morning, but there's a lot of you I haven't seen, and so I wanted to share something in this sermon and song that was written by a young lady who lives in Eugene, Oregon. To me about 13 years ago, a fan letter poured in, and it was from Alana Baldwin of Eugene, Oregon, whose parents, Grant and Kathy, are old friends of mine, and they live just down the road a little bit. At the time, they were living in Washington, D.C., and they brought 9-year-old Alana to one of my concerts in the D.C. area. I've been a singer-songwriter and a folk singer this is my 34th year of doing this full time. And if it doesn't work out, I can look for another job, but I'm hanging in there. Anyway, to my great surprise, Alana wrote a school report on the concert. So this is David Roth, and it'll tell you really all you need to know about me, especially if you've never heard me before. Here's the paper. It's got a great title. I love it. It's called David Roth. Okay. She writes, David Roth is my hero. Didn't see that coming. Because he writes songs, great singer, guitar player, and sang at my parents' wedding, which I did. David writes funny songs and inspiring songs. The funny songs make people that are even down in the dumps laugh. His inspiring songs like Yes We Can, Practice Makes Progress. Did somebody say perfect? Oh dear, we have a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. Yeah, perfection is prison, so I've carefully inserted 11 mistakes into my talk this morning so I don't have to bear the burden of a flawless presentation. Are you willing to celebrate imperfection with me? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. His inspiring songs, Yes We Can, Practice Makes, and some others make me have confidence, courage, and encouragement. It's exactly what she wrote, encouragement. And I knew exactly what she meant. But I like that word a lot better than the word that she was trying to spell. I think it's a lovely word, so I immediately adopted it and put it in the imaginary David Roth Digital Dictionary. And if you want to look it up there, if you gain access, you have to enable cookies or send me cookies, instant access. And if you see encouragement, to have cooj. And when I looked at this on the page, I realized what cooj could be interpreted as courage without the rage. Yeah. So that's my ongoing endeavor in this very complicated world, is to have courage without the rage and use my rage where I feel it is constructive, if possible. David Roth has been playing guitar and singing for over 20 years. It's 34 now. He's tall, skinny, and has gray hair, even back then. I'm amazed that even how old he is, he can still get all the high notes. And she recaps, David Roth sang at my parents' wedding. Yeah, we heard that. He sang the song Rising in Love. I'm happy about that because it's my mom's very favorite song, of his at least. In conclusion, David Roth is my hero because he can make anyone laugh, inspire anyone, and sang at my mom and dad's wedding. So there, right there is David Roth 101. And I thank Alana, who's now in her early 20s and still living in Eugene. And I wondered if she would have been horrified that I just adopted her word into my lexicon, but she turns out to have been thrilled. And I made T-shirts for a while that said, "Have courage without the rage." And she's got the original model in plastic hanging in her bedroom. But it is a complicated world. And this song sounds like I might have written it in this past year. Could have been that recently, but it was actually 6 years ago with my friends Karen Drucker of San Francisco and J.D. Martin of Colorado. For the last 4 years, Guadalupe checked in to the Phoenix office of immigration. Both of her kids, U.S. born. But everything changed the day they took her away. In the home of the brave, in the land of the free, we are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Guadalupe, you come for me. For the last 2 years, Kamal made his rounds. Interfaith Medical Center in New York City. He went to Sudan to visit his mom. But everything changed, couldn't come back, he was stranded. In the home of the brave, in this land of the free, we are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Kamal, you come for me. Give me your tired, your poor huddled masses. This is America built by dreamers, yearning to breathe free. If I had to leave my country, what would I do? And if the way I dressed was a trigger for you, if I'm not welcome here, where would I go? Could I sail away on an unknown ocean of hope? In the home of the brave, in the land of the free, we are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Guadalupe, for Kamal, when you come for my neighbor, you come for me. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I wrote that with my friends. And I've pretty much sung it at just about every appearance all over this country and a few other countries since that time, just about every one. And you wouldn't be surprised to know that everywhere I go, it's not filled with people who agree with everything I have to sing about. But I learned this from Pete Seeger, who I got to meet a few times back in the day when I lived in New York City. And, he said it's easy to sing to the choir, but it's important, and I'm paraphrasing, to offer the opportunity for discussion to those who may not agree with you. And I'm all about that, So I've learned a lot from that song. One thing I learned from that song when I first started singing in the Pacific Northwest right after I had written it with those two on my April tour in 2017. I used to live in Seattle. Did I mention that? And we moved back east to Cape Cod, where I'm living now. But I came back every spring for a Washington and Oregon tour since 2000, and it got interrupted in 2020. So this is actually my 20th annual tour 3 years later. And so glad to be here with kindred spirits. But that first tour, when I was singing that song, the first time I sang it at the end of the first set in my little coffee house on Whidbey Island in Washington. And when I got to the end of that first line, when you come for Guadalupe, you come for me, there was dead silence in the room. Because there, were differences of opinion on that sort of thing. And I learned something that night. And what I learned that night was maybe there might be occasions where I would sing that song in the second set. Okay, so. It was useful information. But by then, people would have a sense of what I'm singing about, I would hope, and that I know that I'm not trying to light a match or start a fire. I'm trying to maybe spark a discussion. That's all I'm trying to do. But failing that, I have another new song written during the pandemic that I feel, even though you've never heard it before, you are going to love this song. You're going to take it into the core of your being, especially when you hear the first two words. You're going to want to sing the first two words. And if you've come with somebody today, you might want to sing those first two words right to them. And we'll get to that, okay? You ready? So take a look at the person on either side of you and say, I can't wait to hear you sing with Dave. Would you do that for me? I think you'll love these first two words. I'm right. You're wrong. You're off. This is my new theme song. I'm right. Oh, they sing. I'm correct. I'm sure. And you are insecure. My heart is pure. I'm right. I'm sure. Don't you bother contradicting me. You've got no leg to stand on. Where is it you come off with all these viewpoints that you land on? I'm yes. You're stop. Brilliant. Je suis vrai to a foe. That's French. Now you know. And you know we're gonna get somewhere by being mad and vehement. A seismic shift is always made with words of disagreement. You're right. I'm wrong. Thought I'd just try that on. How about a new song? No right, no wrong, no right. You said it, I didn't. If anybody tells you there's no politics in guns, and that now is not the time to change the laws, just meet the gaze of those who've lost family or friends, and tell me how we justify the cause. It's well and good to send out loving thoughts and loving prayers, but by now these thoughts and prayers are not enough. All the good intentions and the cries to make a change must be followed up with action and rebuff. So change the laws, change the laws, change the contract, change the clause, change the mind, and change the cause. Change the laws, change the laws. Politicians say do not politicize these things or get caught up in the moment or in haste. I say it's precisely what we need to speak about before another single life is wasted. So change the laws, change the laws, change the contract, change the clause, change the mind, and change the cause. Change the laws, change the laws. I will not be silenced, though the silencers abound. I will not be led by those opposed to common ground. If anybody tells you there's no politics in guns, they're the ones who know that money runs the show. And as long as nothing changes, they'll be happy and content, and they'll do their best to keep the status quo. So change the laws, change the laws, change the contract, change the clause, change the mind, and change the cause. Change the laws, change the laws, change the mind, and change the cause. Change the laws, change the laws. 6 years ago, that one. And there's a new one about what happened in Tennessee a couple weeks ago, but time is short. I've got one more song, and come on out to Cloverdale, Oregon tonight, where I'll be playing at one of my favorite venues, the Istanbul Rug Bazaar. It's a rug store on the Oregon coast, run by a beautiful man from Turkey named Mehmet. And some of you will be there, I know. But I want to wrap this sermon and song up with a story. Some of my songs are based on true stories about ordinary people who do extraordinary things that don't always get all the attention from those in our culture who speak the loudest or, have the biggest microphone. So here's a couple of ordinary sheroes, who walk among us, who shine by example about how we can live in harmony. Easier done than sung. And I thank you for your kind attention this morning. true story. Jessica Robles, a single young mother, was struggling to feed her 3 kids. She went to the market without any money. Family had fallen on hardship. She put what she needed right into her shopping cart. Did not take one extra thing. Some milk and some meatballs, some hamburger helper, canned corn, peaches, and chicken wings. Her kids were so hungry, she had to do something. Never had planned to be poor. She didn't know who else she could turn to, and rolled that cart right out the door. That's where a policewoman saw Jessica Robles and caught her red-handed in this. I can't go to jail, Jessica sobbed and she pleaded. Who'll take care of my kids? And Officer Thomas saw a much bigger picture, much larger than milk or than bread. Arresting this mother would solve nobody's problems. She had a notion instead. She pulled out her wallet and took out 6 20s. Paid for those groceries instead. When others caught wind of this story, more money came pouring in for Jessica Robles. A woman named Mayra gave $200. She said, I've been right where she is. And one of the local businesses kicked in with 500 more for her kids. When that story appeared on the late evening news, someone watching offered Jessica a job. To say she was grateful would not scratch the surface. Went down to her very last straw. The world may seem random, bad things may happen without rhyme or reason, it seems. But now and again, something stunning reminds me that goodness is more than a dream. Goodness is more than a dream. Sing with me, would you? Goodness is more than a dream. Keep going. Goodness is more than a dream. Goodness is more than a dream.
Sure you're done? Because we would take another song if you had it. Encore, they say, huh? What?
What's
what,
that?
Gil?
Oh,
We have
oh,
a
good.
vote. How many people think David should sing one more song? Well, sorry, you lose.
I win.
Or you win.
Thank you. I'm a sucker for a silent ovation, I tell you. That's very kind. I'm going to sing Alana Baldwin's mother's favorite song of mine, At Least. And this is actually the title song of my first CD, or was it an 8-track? It was so long ago. I've got 15 of them now, but they're all kind of vaporized, so I put them all on a USB flash drive, and I'm going to go have a cup of coffee after this service, and I'd be happy to talk to you out there if you're interested. Thank you again. And I'm going to go home and tell my friends that, yeah, I went to the UU congregation in Salem, Oregon, where they literally have cats and dogs raining all the time. Cats and dogs in Salem. Thank you. Everyone looks for their calling in love, but I always find it surprising the way people say that they're falling in love when I always felt I was rising, floating right off of the ground and reaching something that I only have dreamed of. I'm not falling at all, I am rising in love. And everyone talks about tying the knot, but I have a hard time agreeing with the way that we bind up the love that we've got, when the feeling of love should be freeing, lifting each other up instead of giving one another a shove. We won't be falling at all, we'll be rising in love. How do you let love grow? You've got to give it a chance when you found it. A bird in your hand will stay until you start to close your fingers around it. Love is a river whose waters we test, and a measure of where we are going. But you never can step in the same river twice, for that water is constantly flowing. But the deeper the river, the greater the trust. The more that we're rising above, we won't be falling at all, we'll be rising in love. I am not falling at all, I am rising. I'm not falling at all, I am rising. I'm not falling at all, I am rising in love. Rising in love. I'm rising in love. I am rising in love.
Thank you. Hard act to follow. So let's just take a minute, center ourselves, close your eyes if you want, or not. We're here this morning in community, seeking to live in harmony. And each of us has brought our own private melody. But as we're here together this morning, we join in a holy chorus of life to practice our song so we may be better able to recognize when it's our time to join in the music. Spirit of life, may there be beauty and meaning and power in our song of living. May our voices blend to create a chorus of rejoicing, a chorus of compassion, a chorus of love. If you are proud of this church, become its advocate. If you're concerned for its future, share its message. If its values resonate deep within you, give it a measure of your devotion. This church cannot survive without your faith, without your contribution, your confidence, your enthusiasm, your support. Thank you for your generosity. If you are here in the sanctuary, you may contribute through the baskets that will be passed. As always, we accept donations to the Marion Polk Food Share through the wagon coming to the front of the sanctuary. And if you're at home, please feel free to donate by going to the website and clicking on the donate option. Thank you for your support.
I am here for the greater good of all, greater good of all, greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. Sing that with me, would you? I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here. The greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here. Let me hear ya. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all.
Is Lorna here today? Want to come and share your thoughts about, oh, I guess I could say this first. I have it in a different order. Come on up. Come on up with me. Next week, Rick will be back. He's here now, but he'll be back up here. And he's going to talk about all the lonely people, which sounds like a Beatles song to me, so maybe we're going to do music again. I don't know, but we'll find out next week. So now Lauren is going to talk to us.
Good morning, all, and I want to thank you very much for your generous contributions to our pledge drive this year. We didn't quite make our goal. We came pretty close. And on Friday, our budget team met to put together a recommended budget for the board to consider. It doesn't contain anything expansion, anything new in the budget except for those service and supply costs that we have to pay for, like you all have to pay for, rising gas costs, etc. Unfortunately, we're not raising enough money to give our employees a COLA, but the board still has decisions to make on Monday as what to do and whether or not we want to dig deeper into our little kitty that we've amassed over the years of ending fund balances. So that's where we sit, and you will get a proposed budget to vote on at the upcoming annual meeting in May. And thank you all once again for all of your generosity.
As always, there's a lot going on around here. I don't live too far away, and I drive by our church all the time, in the evening especially, and this place is always lit up. So I know there's stuff going on because nothing's missing. So they must be legitimate reasons for people to be in here. I'm assuming, unless people are dropping stuff off, I don't know. So the best ways to find out what's going on in our congregation is talk to each other first. That's a really excellent way. And so stay after and meet with everybody in the fellowship hall, and there'll be tables and there'll be people who will tell you all kinds of fun stuff to do. But also sign up for the email if you haven't already, our UUCS communication, which is this week at UUCS, you get it every Friday. We have a Facebook page, we have the website, which is up to date most of the time. We have a newsletter. There's a calendar of events on the website. There's just all kinds of ways to find out, or call the office. All those ways work. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and light the social justice candle, which is a way that we recognize that the light from our chalice goes out into the community through all the works of so many in our community, in our UUCS community. And as we come to our close of our time together, we have to extinguish our chalices. So before we gather here again, may each of us bring music into another's life. May we see the wonder in the gifts around us, and may we remain together in spirit until we meet again.
We'll try this one. Can you hear me? Fine? Thank you. My name's Gary Swanson. I live up in Gates, Oregon. Nancy, my lovely wife, and I are here today to share an expression of gratitude, inclusivity, all of the things that have been talked about here this morning that you stand for. To the congregation, I'll make this as short as I can. I was a victim of the Beachy Creek wildfire, and I lost my home outside of Gates. I was a member of the fire department. I was fire chief for close to 40 years. At the time of the fire, I was not fire chief, but I was still a firefighter. I was out fighting fire when my home went down. My wife and I recognized we had a challenge in life. And our challenge was, what do we do now? You know, you're left in a very empty feeling, something you've never experienced before. There were 4 members in our fire department whose homes went to the ground during that fire. But it took us, oddly enough, sometime in the middle of the night, standing on the site that our home was and looking at what was left, about 30 seconds to say we're going forward. We had choices, but forward was our best choice by the nature of who we are. So we started down that road. It's been 3 incredible years, nearly, of rebuilding a home, helping other people, witnessing and working to find ways to help people through their struggles. Somewhere after about a year had gone by, let me get back 6 months, the existing fire chief in our department and myself said we can do more than just respond to chaos and tragedy. We started a fund that people could donate to that covered 9 fire districts in our area. And this was like a central receiving point of donations to help. One day the fire chief came up to me with an envelope. And I didn't know what he had, but we collected a lot of donations during that time. It could go to a specific fire department, whatever the individuals donating decided they wanted to designate those funds for. He said, "This is for you." Had my name on it, on an envelope. And I opened it, and out of the blue came a very nice donation from the UU Church congregation and family, specifically to me, not the Gates Fire Department, but specifically to me. I've had a long association with this church behind the scenes. I was so privileged and so happy to work with this church so many, many years ago to create what you see behind me on the wall. And that was an incredible experience, not for what I built, but for the relationships that I built here with people and with the Spirit. Nancy and I want to thank you for that donation. It was a wonderful jump start for our project on the Hill, we call it. I'm very grateful. I appreciated so much the words that have been spoken here in song and spoken word. We stand grateful to you. You walk the talk, and that means so much in today's world. Thank you.
I stand for love, stand for peace. I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you. Join me. I stand for love. I stand for peace. I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope. I stand for you. You know our world is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act. Now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. And if you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who will change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, I will climb this mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace. We'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
Please remain standing, and if you're comfortable, go ahead and take your hand of your neighbor and join me in saying our closing words. May faith in the spirit of life, hope for the